So I had a realization. I had thought I decided I was going to use this Pluto energy, my Pluto, from now on. Its responsibility of power in relation to deep psyche, its awareness. So I'm going to speak through these coming days. I keep being drawn. I can feel the oscillation of consciousness coming. It's like a pulse. I feel it within me. That's how I sense it in the world. People will say it's a projection, um, self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, fate. And people will say those things because they're wrapped up in externalizations of their energy, their who they are is out there. It's in the title, it's in the distinction of what they do. They have to earn a living in this world. It has to give them distinction. I haven't got that. I got it here. And there are many people like that. They got it with them. So when these oscillations come, they sense this being drawn in to the mystery, to this world, the hypnotic power of universe, cosmos, universe. It's this stretching, repressing, which can look like repression, pressing, all this like energetic through potential reality, and it's happening. But we can feel it from ourselves if we're trying to live it, drawn to live it, pulled to meaning, following your pull. That's what Pluto retrograde is for right now, sextiling Mars. Mercury coming into balsamic phase conjunction with Chiron. But if you look statically at this chart, it would be a new phase conjunction with Chiron. But let's just forget about that for a moment and think in dynamics. I don't like limiting how I view any aspect being made. I try and look at the progression. Sometimes I start in reverse, and then I see something I wouldn't have seen had I gone forward. But then I can also say, well, maybe had I gone forward, I might see something different going reverse. I don't know. Who knows? Tomato, tomato. I was in the flow. Now I'm trapped in the analysis here. Okay, so sextile between Mars and Pluto. I spoke of this in another video, the last one. Okay, so imagine your passions. Imagine I'm speaking right now from my Pluto. I'm trying to tap into this energy. I've got a 12th house Pluto retrograde. I'm an individuated, which is basically what we all are, but we're in different stages, realizations. This is a way to read energies. If when I'm 3 years old and I go through an experience when I'm 20 years old, it's going to be different, but it could be the same experience, but it's a different maturation of psyche. So the seasons are different. I'm in tune with the trans planets. These are cycle energies, Uranian energies, the remembrance. All right, so Pluto stations will be a perfect sextile as stationed here. Okay, so breaking retrograde, minute a week or every 5 days or so. So it's like, what has Pluto, what is what's been hidden for so long that's been dying to rise up within us? How can we bring that into this reality in the best way? Reinvigorating the spirit of Mars. What fire can you give your Mars to help it grow through this Aries transit? Remember, Mars has not been here in a very long time. Mars had a very long retrograde cycle in Gemini. Assessing what the meaning is. What was the reason for the conviction of being in Taurus? How did we only see one side of the equation? How can we go forward and then backwards over it and understand it in a new way? So that spirit that has been being cultivated through us in Mars energy, passionate, fiery focus, creative focus, through the filters of psyche and the possessions of daemon or demon or angel or whatever other systems you want to throw in there. How have we matured through that? What was the wisdom of that? Pallas Athena sextile or trining Mars here. The power is the perception. That's what true power is. Otherwise, it's a nightmare. It's criminal. And we can only save ourselves from our own past. So this is where we realize what we've earned through that. What knowledge now we can bear into wisdom through our life, through our living. And then we had the recalibration of Venus here, the reassessment of our own compromises. She burned away through Aries. The truth, the raw truth was felt deep within. Black Moon Lilith was being validated, not vindicated, but realized. The wisdom that she bore the pain for was being shared and realized through the convictions of our ignorance, which brought us through our past to get through these experiences to realize what we could be in this world. If we could love ourselves as much as we've loved the other or whatever. So maybe it's not like feeling that way, but it's realizing what that could be, that it actually exists, and it's something that's of a magic you can obtain for yourself through developing your psyche by learning your ways. And so that's like the calibration that's balancing our Mars right now. Venus is the secret right here. And she's at home in the Venusian degrees of Taurus. It's like when Persephone goes to Hades. She's Venus, but she's Venus down there. Now she's coming back into fresh air, into the light of new days, a new dawn. And you can see Black Moon Lilith here in Libra at this point. This is the true Black Moon Lilith. I use that one. That's the way I calibrate her energy. But 18 degrees, she's about to be in a transformative inconjunct quincunx with the sun. When the sun hits 16 Taurus, will begin. So that's a realization through lived spirit. That's gnosis in form. When you fall in love, you feel the power. There's no construct of mind that matters. It's real life. That's how this energy is, but it's not a realization of love. It's a realization of something within yourself that your psyche will bring to form in reality, should you pursue it. So that's probably part of the fire that Mars is carrying. It's the cultivation of value here, your creative, authentic expression. Maybe you're in relation with people that they're tied in their ways and you have to be in relation with them. Maybe you've tried to inform them or change them, or you've tried to change for them. Well, now you probably have a language through self-expression, through living your expression, showing them what is possible for themselves by you doing it for yours. Changing, essentially. And that can take many forms. We've got Aries in pretty much everyone's got Aries in one of these 12 houses. Look at where it is for you, and that's where the energy can be focused for you. If you've got it in your 10th house, then a career, recreating your career, finding the most authentic reason for being and following that direction with power, with passion. That's the kind of fire that will get you through. And if it's in your 10th, you can also think of it moving into your 9th progressively. That is movement, that's expansion, that's travel. If it's specific, if you work from home or something, then that could be expanding your um, focus from one country or one type of person to another, or a different type of audience, through YouTube or technology or whatever you do. I don't use any apps or any of that stuff. YouTube is the only thing I do with internet, essentially. It's it's like everything else, unless it's research. And I don't trust a lot of science in this day and age. Not with all the Neptunian shenanigans. Anything is possible. There will be good, but there will also be a lot of bad. It's in the essence. Is it for profit? If so, whose? Why? Remember, nothing popular is true. We can be led in the right direction, though. So, I mean, I'm all for people sharing what they feel is right. Just remember to trust what feels right with you first. If you've been on a specific diet, try mixing it up. I think I'm going to fast and go on to a bone broth diet for a while and then work my way back in and cultivate the gut biome. So maybe I'll do fermented foods and things, and then I will target specific organs in my body and try and eat specifically for those regenerative cells. That would be the best use of my energy and focus since I exercise. Because if you exercise just to burn off calories or food, you're doing good, but it's better if you can multiply the value and find reasons for other things. So wherever you can get myopic with your focus and target in on things, but in a way where it's more mutable, it's Gemini, it's spread out in multiple different ways. So you're doing one thing to maximize all these other things. When you can find those types of activities or focus points, then you can do well. I don't know, I just fell into that tirade. I've got the sixth house Aries, so routines, service to self, service to other, work. It's a war zone. If it's a war zone, then I'm not doing what I should be doing. I got to turn it into the Garden of Eden. It has to be chaotic beauty of nature, free of the constraints of the mired mind in Virgo, so that the true meaning of the essence can be felt in Scorpio. That's the transformational circuit of this spirit. But in true Aryan fashion, it's not just about that. There's 360 degrees here. And then beyond that, there's all these other different systems. So, yeah, if you look at where Aries is for you, just look at where it is natally and then progress it. Look at your secondary progression, and think about that passion, that fire. Where do you want to bring it? How do you want to bring it? What are you bringing it to? What are you cultivating? What in you is changing with that? How are you being of service to yourself in relation to that as well? So, I mean, if you can challenge yourself in these kind of ways, you don't need the shenanigans of the world to hold you. And I oscillate in and out of that. I pay attention, but you get caught in Medusa's stare. You don't even realize it. So it's best, especially with Pluto retrograde, to pull the power in and assess what that is and let it feed the fire, the passion, so you can bring it forward. All right, well, that's all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching, listening, and being